I'm Anna Mitchell, joined by Aram Hamparian. He is Executive Director of the Armenian National Committee of America. Aram, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so very much.
Now, we had you on the show way back in September to talk about what was then a pretty significant escalation in hostilities between Azerbaijan and Armenia. At the time, it was so significant that Pope Francis was even talking about it in his public addresses. What has been happening lately in that regard?
Sure. So since September, Azerbaijan essentially ethnically cleansed 100,000 Christian Armenians from their indigenous homeland, the homeland of the first Christian nation, driven them from their homes, destroyed their churches, capturing prisoners of war, torturing them, even killing them. It's been really just one epic disaster for one of the last outposts of Christianity in that part of the world.
How have I not heard about this?
It's just, it doesn't make the news. I guess there's so much else going on. And the fact is that Azerbaijan has a lot of oil money, and they are able to buy a lot of influence in Washington. And from administration to administration, they're able to kind of either bully or bribe their way into getting what they want. And today is actually a big day in that regard, because there's a chance that the U.S. House, will vote on whether to cut off military aid to Azerbaijan. And to be honest with you, I find it amazing that since September, after all Azerbaijan's done to this Christian nation, they've still been getting U.S. military aid, but the U.S. House is going to take a careful look at that today.
Well, it's interesting because I did a Google search, Azerbaijan and Armenia, this morning. Mm-hmm. And the two top stories that came up on Google about it were about, quote unquote, Armenia's aggressive policies. It sounds like Armenia is the one getting most of the bad press.
Oh, my Lord. If you look at the map, you have a country of about 80, 90 million people in Turkey, very, very powerful military force, very hostile to America these days. And then if you look at the other border of Armenia, you have another 8 or 9 million Azeris, and they're ethnic cousins, they're political allies, and they have a shared interest in destroying Armenia, which is this tiny country of 3 million people. So it's something like 100+ million people hell-bent on destroying this tiny outpost of Christianity in this part of the world, and yet their public relations machine describes the Armenians as the threat, the Armenians as the danger, which is really ridiculous any way you look at it, whether it's in terms of population or land mass or military spending or gross domestic product. Turkey and Azerbaijan are huge, huge powers, regional powers, and they're out to destroy Armenia, and in the process they try to demonize Armenia as the bad guy.
Well, I want to get back to Turkey in a moment, but first of all, what has been your assessment of the Biden State Department's treatment of Azerbaijan so far?
Well, President Biden said during the campaign, he in fact called on the previous president, President Trump, to stop U.S. arms and to stop U.S. aid to Azerbaijan. He said we have to stop the flow of arms to Azerbaijan, which was encouraging. But then once he got in office, he continued the flow of military aid to Azerbaijan. And that's been really disappointing because it's millions of dollars that are used, to kill Armenians, Christian Armenians. And second, because it sends a signal to Azerbaijan that everything's fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. If we were upset, we'd cut the military aid, but, we're just fine with everything. And that's really troubling. And that's why we're really looking to the U.S. House today to stop this.
And you mentioned Turkey, and of course, Turkey looms large in all of the conversations about this particular region. What do you make of former Republican Senator Jeff Flake being appointed, pending Senate approval, of course, as the next ambassador to Turkey?
It's troubling. His record of denying the Armenian genocide, of casting, I believe, 5 separate votes against simply recognizing this attempted destruction of a Christian people, that casts a shadow over this nomination. And President Biden should have nominated somebody who's on the right side of this issue, somebody who will push Turkey to reckon with the truth, rather than someone who has a long record of obstructing the truth, of obstructing justice.
Now, you mentioned this House vote that could be taking place today. Do you have any action items that you're encouraging people to do ahead of this vote?
Sure. There's an amendment. It's being put forward. It's a bipartisan amendment. It's being put forward by some good, strong champions of the Armenian issue. And if folks want to go to anca.org/alert, they can encourage their members of Congress to co-sponsor this amendment and then to vote for it. If the Rules Committee, if the sort of this gatekeeper body in the House gives us the green light, there could be a vote, up or down vote, as early as tomorrow. So please, if anyone can go to anca.org/alert, that would be extremely helpful.
And how consequential could this be for the Armenians if the vote goes the way that you want it to?
It will be the first step by the United States, first concrete step by the United States to put the brakes on Azerbaijan. During the war, we heard a lot of talk. There was discussion of enforcing these laws and then stopping the military, but none of it happened. This would be the first opportunity for the United States to take a stand and say, we're not going to conduct business as usual with a country like Azerbaijan that is trying to eradicate one of the most ancient Christian nations, one of the last Christian outposts on the very frontiers of faith and freedom in a very, very difficult part of the world.
ANCA.org is where you can go to find the Armenian National Committee of America. There's a tab there with action alerts. And, of course, ANCA is a partner of In Defense of Christians, who are a regular partner with the Sunrise Morning Show. We've been talking to Aram Hamparian, the executive director of the Armenian National Committee of America. Aram, thank you so much for your time and all the information today.